Our next guest has a story that is rooted in one of the most defining moments of the civil rights movement, the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing. Her sister, Denise McNair, was one of the young victims of that tragic event that forever shaped her family and the country. She's here to help us reflect on the past and shed light on how we move forward together. We're honored to welcome author and motivational speaker Lisa McNair. Lisa, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
So, Lisa, your book stems from an experience tied to a pivotal moment in history. When did you first realize you wanted to write it, and why was this time the right time for you?
Well, I wanted to write it since I was 14, so it was many, many, many years ago. But I didn't. It didn't actually come out until 2022, and I didn't first start putting pen to paper until 2006.
Wow.
So it took a little while.
Yeah, it took the time it needed. And this will be the
Yeah.
62nd anniversary of that bombing. How far have we come as a country in your opinion, and what work remains?
Well, I think that, of course, we cannot deny that we have come very far, but we don't need to forget this history, and we need to keep remembering it and sharing it with our young people and even some of the old people who didn't learn it, because it's very important. Because if we don't know our history, we are destined to repeat it, and we're doing a little bit of that in this country right now.
What's the most
So I
important
think that's
takeaway? Yeah, what would you say is the most important takeaway you hope readers get from reading your book?
Oh, there's so many lessons, but the prominent lesson is love and being kind to your fellow man, and remember that we're all human and we're all God's children. So those are the main things. But my book also is a memoir that tells in letters to Denise
Mhm.
about my life as part of that first generation of African Americans to move freely through this country. So learning my story and what my walk was really like is very important, and other people had the same type of walk as well.
Lisa, can you take us back to when you were young? When and how did you learn about your sister's passing?
That has to be the number one question I always get asked.
Hmm.
I was not born when Denise was killed. I was born almost exactly a year from the day she was murdered, and she was an only child. So I think I just always have known it because I'm sure people
Hmm.
talked about it. I talked about the miraculous fact that I was born after mom had tried for 11 years to have
Hmm.
more kids. But I just always have known that my sister was killed in a bombing
Yeah.
because of the color of her skin, and wondered why people would hate somebody just for that reason, someone they didn't even know. So that's always stayed with me.
Yeah. And to that point, what can we as Americans do to help end racism and create change today?
Well, I often tell people this is a great story to start with, the story of Denise and the other four girls. If you don't know very much civil rights history, I believe everybody can get behind this
Hmm.
story, because children should not be murdered for no reason, and definitely not in a church. And I think it can make people stop and think. If you hate someone, or you're doing saying racist things, or someone is doing that kind of thing,
Hmm.
think about how that can turn into death
Hmm.
and can cause much harm. So that's what I'd like people to take away from that and to learn.
And you're continuing to teach people to learn. I understand that you will be featured at the Martin Luther King celebration on January 25th at the Sac State University Ballroom, and the event will also honor James Wheatley with a Community Service Award. How excited are you about this event?
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm very excited. I've never been to Sacramento, so I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Be speaking at a church, Episcopal church downtown on the
Mhm.
next day. And so just anytime I'm able to share Denise's story and the
Mhm.
story of the other girls, I think it's so important for all of us to learn how we can be better and not try to make that history repeat itself.
I agree with you. Lisa, thank you so much for coming on our show. We appreciate your time.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. And to our viewers, act fast. Go online for tickets to the Martin Luther King celebration at the Sac State Ballroom, taking place on January 25th. No tickets will be sold at the door, which is why you got to act now and go online. Find out more by heading to MLK Celebrations, Sacramento.org/events.